Hey, welcome back, folks. I don't know if you can hear me or not. There is an interstate right over there behind me, uh, somewhere over there. Sitting around the house this morning and just in one of those moods, just wasn't nothing wrong, but just wasn't feeling right. So, with my minimum amount of money, my minimum amount of fuel, I decided I needed a couple of days of camping. But on the way to find a camp spot, what I found was a public fishing lake right outside the interstate, and you can see it back there behind me. Not sure what the name of it is. It's in a wildlife management area, and I don't know. Let me turn you around. I'll show you what it is. They've got a little boat ramp down there, and it is electric motors only. There's little fishing jetties off the side of it out there. I don't know. Should be some fish in there. No swimming. Electric motors only. All the fish species that are available, I suppose. Uh, Bass rules. Catch limit 3, length limit 15. Yeah, we probably don't have to worry about that. What we are going to do is walk down here, though. I don't know whether to try to fish off one of those jetties or just fish from the boat ramp. What I have is some worms left over from a previous fishing trip, and I think there's about 2 left in the box. So we will try to catch a fish on our 2 worms. When we run out of worms, that's good enough. We'll be done with it. I think we're going to walk to one of those fishing jetties or whatever you call them. All right, no sense in you listening to me huff and puff all the way around there, I guess. Check out this trail, though. Looks like it's well maintained. Don't see any booger bears. All right, guys, I'm going to cut you off and I'm going to get around there and throw a line out, see what happens. Hey, guys, I've been messing around here for, I don't know, about a worm and a half. And there are a bunch of little small bluegill in here. And I thought I had some on video when I was catching them a while ago. But apparently I'm dumb. It didn't work. So what I'm assuming is now that I do have the camera on, I won't get a bite. That's just the way my luck goes. There he is. Oh, he got off right there. Did you see that? Hopefully you saw it. Nobody else will believe me. And I still got my worm. Well, if I keep casting like that, I should be able to keep that worm. There we go. I think I'm a little far out right there from where they've been biting. The one I caught earlier was big enough to eat, and that one, if I was hungry, I would have ate him. I don't know if you even saw it or not. It came off right there at the bank. You'll get to see this one if I. Ah, he came off right then. Got a little gravel on his nose. If I hold it up real close, does it look huge? All right, let's try it again. Oop, got a bite as soon as it hit the water. They're little bitty ones. I can tell that. That one probably got the rest of my worm. Yeah, but he did. Oh yeah, he cleaned it off. I had a black and white jig on here, and I just took the jig body off and just been putting a worm on that jig head. All right, guys, I'm gonna get you shut off here, and then we'll. If I get a huge one, I'll let you know. All right, we made it. We got camp set up. Got the Blackstone out. Got the table and chair. Got the slumberjack up, and they are calling for rain. It rained off and on all morning, and I think we're supposed to get some more tonight. Got my firewood over there by the fire pit. Fire pit's looking good. Got to be a great camping trip because I've already caught fish. And when I was getting set up, I found a dime and 2 tent stakes. I'm a richer man than I was when I left the house. Who knows what's going to happen next? But get a chance, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and stay tuned to see what does happen. All right, here we go. It has been a lazy day, people. Well, I mean, after we got through fishing, got here, got set up, got everything tidied up in the van. We do have supper prepped in there. It's going to be something a little different. But I got some YouTube channels that I watch religiously, and every video they have a new beer. Uh, one guy, Ryan, he just brings a different beer every week or every time he does a video and tries it. And he tries to pick some classics. I mean, stuff we all grew up with. Then I got another guy I watch, Brian, well, Ryan's with Dish Outdoors. Brian is with Never Lost Outdoors. And every week they try something different. Ryan calls it a camp soda. Well, I have something different. And I'm not one to try weird beers. I'm not one to drink weird beers. I'm a Busch Light guy, and I love Bud Light and I like Busch Light, and that's it. But here's what we got, and then I'll tell you why we got it. Let me turn it sideways. Is that backwards? Yeah. Garage beer. Classic lime beer. I'm not much on that, but here's the deal. That's 24 ounces of beer. I walked in the grocery store the other day, and they had these things piled about knee high, 2 for $3. That's It could taste like butthole, and I'd drink it, I guess, at 2 for $3 for a 24-ounce beer. But let's give it a try. Ooh, clean, crisp, snap. Nice bouquet. Definitely a hint of lime. uh, you know, I guess if you're the kind of guy that drinks lime in your beer, should have cleansed my palate before I did this. Definitely gonna cleanse it after this. In all seriousness, it's not that bad. And I don't know who makes it. Let me get my CNI goggles on here. Here's to bringing some beach vibes into the garage. Garage beer lime is light and refreshing with a hint of lime flavor to mix things up. The garage is open and you're all welcome for a few. It says drink garage beer, 24 ounces, 95 calories. This is 1 pint and 8 ounces, 4% alcohol by volume, and I have no clue. You're waiting on me to turn that over and try to read it, ain't you? Oh, it's from Irwindale, California. Figures they'd come up with something like that. All right, seriously, it's not bad. Matter of fact, I'm not going to have any trouble finishing. Well, I might have trouble finishing it, but it won't be because of the flavor. Probably because I'm rooting up these acorns around here, the walnuts. All right, guys, there's our beer of the week, our new camp soda, our whatever. Garage beer lime. Get you some. All right, guys, welcome back. Not sure how this is going to work, if it's going to work. But what I got is 2 bratwurst from our local hometown grocery. They make them fresh in-house. But, bugs. Apparently the bugs are working overtime. What I'm going to do, and I should have brought a garbage bag, I'm going to split these open and try to get the sausage out of the casing. And I'll explain why in just a minute. Well, that certainly looks easier on TV. Huh. The casing doesn't want to come off the sausage. There we go. Make it happen. Make it happen. You can do it, little buddy. Wow. And that's a little slick there. Should have done it that way to start with. Should have brought a towel. Should have brought a bunch of stuff. But I didn't. All right, we are going to crank that back up. We're going to fry up that sausage or bratwurst with, there's my water I was looking for a while ago, with a little onion in it. I didn't bring any pepper, and like jalapenos, bell peppers, anything like that, which I don't know why, because we got plenty around the house. But my intentions are to brown that off. Hang on, I got to get a towel. I'm back. Then what I'm going to do on this side burner, I have some of these sweet and smoky chipotle pinto beans from the Serious Bean Company. And I'm going to do these over here, just heat them up while that's cooking up. Then my plan is to add all that to this. So heat the beans up, get that fried up, mix it all together. Then I have a package of Cotton Country cornbread mix, and it's because all you have to do is add water. Well, needless to say, I don't have my Coleman oven out here because I was too lazy to dig it out, bring a burner out here or a stove other than this. And the Coleman oven will not fit on this. You have to check it out, but it don't. So what I'm going to do is mix this up, and I'm going to cook it on that flat top. Just make corn cakes, corn fritters, whatever you want to call them. Not corn fritters. I think that actually involves corn. Anyway, fry me up some pancakes made out of cornbread batter. Let me get back with you when I get all this done. All right, the beans are boiling. This is done. So we're going to try to get this in there. But what I'm looking at, I don't believe I'm going to have enough liquid in those beans. And there was probably a better way to do this. I just didn't explore it. I know those fried onions and that bratwurst are smelling good. Oh yeah, I got way more beans and meat and onions in there than I do liquid. So, what do we do now? Got that turned down on low because I'm going to need that. Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. That looks pretty good. But just for the sake of letting it do a little more, let's try some tasty garage beer in there to thin it out a little bit. If my theory is correct, the alcohol will burn out of it as it's cooking. Give it a little liquid to kind of stew down in a little bit. And I don't think that lime's going to hurt the flavor of it, the lime or the beer. But just because I got a little generic Cajun seasoning here because I can't afford the good stuff, we'll throw some of that in there. Just enough to give it a little flavor. Go ahead and mix that in. One thing I will say about this Blackstone, or this one, I've never heard anybody complain about it before, but that burner does not turn down low enough for me. When I want to simmer something, it is all the way on low, and it's still kicking up pretty good heat. All right, I'm going to do it with my cornbread, and I'll get back with you. All right, guys, not sure how this is going to work out or not, but if you'll notice, you hear the generator running in the background. Wait a minute. Yeah, my microphone's still on, but the generator is running. I've had the van plugged up all week, but I've also had a refrigerator running in there and something else. But I don't know what went wrong. When I got here, my battery was down to 17%. Like the battery charger didn't really charge. So I've been trying to get it charged up. Let's see. Somewhere I have a spatula. Let me go find it. We're going to turn these corn cakes or whatever the hell you call them, and see how they look. They ought to be pretty sporty. We're going to let those cook. These two are more done than these two, but those were dead center of the griddle. I think if I actually spaced them out, they'd be all right. Beans are looking good. I don't know if you can see that. They are boiling. That's our beans with bratwurst and onions. A little bit of Cajun seasoning. I don't know if I need to add anything else or what, but I think we're going to roll with them like they are. All right, guys, let me get you shut off. I'm going to go cut that generator off and give it a break for tonight. I am the only one here, so nobody's complaining about it. We're going to get this done, and I'll plate it up and show it to you. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, guys, we are done. Look at that. Got my piece of cornbread under the bottom, the beans and bratwurst and onions on top with some fancy shredded cheddar pepper jack cheese and an ice cold Busch Light. All right, guys, got a car coming through. I'll see you in the morning. All right, good morning. We got a little breakfast going here already. Got some bacon and hash browns. Put a little cheese on those hash browns. I do have onions in them. And I got a couple of eggs over there I'm going to throw in here sooner or later. Or throw on here. I don't know if I'm going to throw them in with the hash browns or what. I do have some tortillas and salsa in there. I could make me some breakfast burritos, I guess. Breakfast tacos, breakfast something. I think right now I'm just making a mess. I didn't think this through the way I piled everything on here, I don't believe. But we're going to make it work. And while I'm acting like I'm making this work, I'll let you get back to what you were doing, and I'll be back with you in just a little bit. All right, guys, it has been a lazy day around here. I did go on about, I don't know, 8/10 of a mile hike, whatever, walk. It wasn't a hike, it was a walk. If you'll notice, I swapped out the Blackstone for a Coleman stove. It's because I'm going to need both burners. What I got is, these are some, wow. Probably should have had that turned off. Anyway, I got a couple of hamburger patties here. One of our grocery stores close to where we live had like a family pack of these jalapeno and some kind of cheese hamburger patties. There was a dozen of them in a thing, and they had them on clearance because I'm assuming they were about to get old. So me and the wife got them, took them home, and split them up, two to a package because that's about what we eat. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to fry these up, hopefully get a little grease off of them, fry me some onions up in there, then mix in some brown gravy, get it whipped up good, put the meat back in there while I'm making some roasted garlic mashed potatoes. So it'll kind of be like hamburger steak and gravy. We'll see. I'll let you know what it looks like. While we've got these cooking a little bit, we might as well go ahead and doctor them up. What I have here is some Worcestershire sauce, and everything's better with some of that on it. Yeah. Holy crap, man. All right, I give up. Now we're getting somewhere. Well, we ain't getting real far, though. This thing is fighting me. I don't know what it's got against me. I ain't never done nothing to it. There we go. So, yep, probably should have opened that 3 days ago. This stuff is the only way to go. Well, not the only way, but one of the best ways. Then, just for the heck of it, like I said, those do have jalapenos and some kind of cheese in them. I'm going to throw some of this Cavender's on there just because I like it. My wife doesn't care for it, so we don't eat it a lot at home. But man, I love this stuff on everything from eggs to you name it, pork chops. But anyway, I'm by myself. I get to eat what I want. All right, guys, bring it back when we get more productive. Bring it back when we get more productive. All right, I believe these are done enough because I am going to put them back in with the onions and gravy. I'm going to pull these off, and I probably should deglaze that pan, but I think we'll be able to do that uh, when we add our water for our gravy. But along with these onions, I think just to make a little more grease in there or oil or whatever, I'm going to add a little bit of butter because those hamburger patties didn't have much fat in them apparently. I don't know. Wasn't enough. Ain't like they were 80-20, it didn't look like. Let's see if we can't get some country crock in there. Shoot. Didn't really bring what I needed to bring to get that out, but we'll use the same fork we're going to eat with. Try to melt some of that butter off. And, dang it, I know what I forgot. Hang on. I'll get right back. Just because we have some, I think I'll add a little bit of garlic in there. Because you can't go wrong with garlic no matter what. What about a half a, yeah, maybe a teaspoon. Enough to make it smell like something anyway. All right. We'll get these onions going. Then we'll put that gravy in there with them. And start working on our mashed potatoes. Man, if it's half as good as it smells right now, we're going to be in business, folks. Yeah, I definitely need to deglaze that pan. But we'll wait till we start with the gravy. That onion just jumped out and committed suicide. That ought to work, shouldn't it? All right. We have got our onions done. So I'm going to put these over here on the plate with the hamburger patties. And we'll start working on the gravy so we can add these back to it. Man, I got a ton of garlic in there. It didn't look like that much when I put it in there, but it does in the skillet. Anyway, let's get that a little warmer where it'll deglaze a little better. Give me half a second. Oh, apparently it is warm. There it goes. And I think that gravy takes like 2 cups of water. So, well, we'll throw that on the ground. And if my calculations are correct, I do have a whisk. That didn't work out. Oh yeah, that ain't good. All right. About half this bottle should be 2 cups. Yeah, it's 32 ounces. Pretty close. What the heck? All right, if we can get this looking something like gravy instead of stuck all over the pan and the whisk and everything else, get it stirred in real good. Then I'll put the meat and the onions back in here. I don't have a lid for this skillet, but what I do have is a piece of aluminum foil. So that ought to work pretty good. Get this down on a simmer. I'm trying to get it to start thickening up a little bit before I put all that back in, because I won't be able to stir it once that's in there. Or we'll just let it do what it does. Stick that in there. I'm going to put those in there and then knock the onions off the top of them where they will actually cook in that gravy a little bit. Well, you know I'm about to make a mess. I already did, so it don't matter. Get the onions stirred around in the gravy a little bit. Try to get all the goodness off of there. All right, we're going to let that simmer. Put this custom lid on there. All right, guys, I'll get back with you when we do something different. All right, guys, we have got the pot cam going. The potato water is done. So we're going to try to mix these up. Ooh, getting thick. All right, let me get it off this whisk before that turns into something terrible. But I do know we're going to add some butter in there. Come on. And I decided what I'm probably going to do is make this like an open face hamburger steak mashed potatoes, because I got a couple of buns that I brought for the hamburgers. So I figured I might as well use them, or one of them anyway. Hadn't quite figured out how I'm going to, I brought a lid out for that. All right, guys, let me figure out what I did with the lid, and I'll get back with you. Here, let me give you a sneak peek. Those are just sitting there simmering. And I'm just dipping my aluminum foil in there. I might as well eat the aluminum foil too. I got enough gravy on it. Sorry about that. All right, let's go ahead and eat, people. I am starving like Marvin. I got my hamburger buns on there. Might have should have flattened them out a little bit. I don't know. What I am going to do is put a little gravy down. You know, you got to have a base, right? And if I was any kind of chef, I'd wipe that off that plate where it doesn't look ugly. Yeah, but I ain't no kind of chef. Apparently, I'm not very sufficient mashed potatoes. Who knows? One of these hamburger patties on there, or whatever you call it, hamburger steaks, and plenty of onions and gravy, because everybody knows gravy is what's made me the man I am today. We're going to fight the aluminum foil one more time, trying to get it back on there. Cover the potatoes to keep the flies off. And that's it, people. That's what's for supper. If you don't hear from me again tonight, you know exactly what happened. I have went into a coma. Hey, morning, guys. It is day 3, and we are getting ready to pack up and head to the house. I am going to cook up some breakfast. I think I'm just going to make some oatmeal, something quick and simple. Then I have to do up my dishes from last night, get the awning down, all the tables and chairs packed up, stove, and everything strapped down inside. I have been in there since, well, about daylight, straightening up, putting things where they belong. I appreciate everybody tuning in. If you like the content, please hit the like button, leave a comment. Everything helps. Other than that, we will see you on the next adventure.